Hey, what's up guys, it's your boy Christian, and in today's video I'm going to be talking to you about my very first charity campaign and how I managed to raise £500 for AIDS UK. Yo, what's up guys? I bet you're wondering where I got this beautiful t-shirt from. I've started up a fundraising campaign to raise money for AIDS UK. If you guys want a t-shirt of your own, go and check out the website and click on the link in the bio. Remember to stay safe, stay home, and Corona will never conquer. Hopefully as I go through my journey, I can give you guys a few tips and tricks on how to start up your own project, charity campaign, or even like your own side hustle. Just to give you guys a little bit of a backstory, I was in my final semester at university and the national lockdown had just been announced. I kind of woke up one morning and jumped in the shower and thought to myself, listen, I really need to start taking action as to what is going on. The world is in complete chaos and I kind of want to be somebody to actually evince a positive message to people. Now in terms of choosing my charity partner, I didn't really have anyone particular in mind. I thought to myself, who is the demographic that is mostly affected by this time? And I kind of came to the conclusion that it's elderly people. As a result, I decided to choose AIDS UK because they are bad boys at what they do. Now for those of you that don't know who these guys are, let me tell you about these bad boys. Let me inform you about these heroes. Yeah, these guys are helping look after the elderly in ways that go far beyond what a charity is expected to do. They help provide advice, they help combat loneliness for them, and you know, just kind of giving them a little bit of independence for themselves. Now in terms of coming up with an idea, I decided to go to the holy grail of education, YouTube. After watching a few videos, what I learned was that you can actually print on t-shirts from your own home. Now, I didn't really know how to do this at the start and I thought it would kind of be a good skill to do. Originally, I was going to do customized t-shirts, but I thought that is going to be long. Because how am I going to keep up with demand in terms of everybody's bespoke designs? I can't do that. So I decided to speak to my friend at Addy Immersive, who actually agreed to give me 6 designs for free. She actually smacked it for me, I can't lie. They were high quality designs and working with them was so easy. Now if I'm going to take you guys through the process of doing this, I've reduced it to a 4-step process. Step number 1 was creating a website. I used GoDaddy as a template, everything was pretty easy. I didn't really know how to design a website because I didn't have any coding experience. My flatmate done computer science, so he actually done the web design for the whole thing. His whole UX experience made everything so much easier in terms of actually getting a payment method and deciding what t-shirts to use, uploading the designs. It was really easy and really not that expensive, to be honest, considering that I had no experience myself. For step number 2, I'm going to give you a little bit of an insight as to how I managed to actually create the t-shirts. I had to order this koala paper online. Now if I give you guys a little bit of advice, you'll probably think that this is probably not the best paper to use. Considering that I was at home and I was new to this whole process, I'm not going to lie to you, I wouldn't recommend using this paper because I'll tell you later on as to why not. So also what I managed to get was some paper just to wrap the clothes in. I really wanted a user-friendly experience where people open up the package and they're kind of excited to see what is inside. So I wrapped it up in like some tissue paper. I had these purple parcels and you know, I just kind of wanted it to be good. Almost a Ferrero Rocher of t-shirts. Now moving on to step 3, I'm talking about marketing. Now, starting up an Instagram page was pretty simple. I thought that would have a good organic reach. It would increase validity in terms of actually people seeing other people in the t-shirts, which would help encourage them to actually buy a t-shirt themselves. Now, obviously I'm killing it on Instagram personally, so I felt like I'd have a good marketing strategy in terms of actually getting people on board. So I decided to message Captain Tom, slightly harassing his grandson in terms of trying to get him a t-shirt. And you know, it was just essentially just going through the whole process of DMing people, kind of getting people on board, getting them to share it, put it up on their story, etc. Now I thought to myself, I'm going to cast my net out as big as possible and kind of catch as many fish as I can. And finally, step 4 is the hustle. When I tell you starting up your own business is so difficult. In terms of actually putting the hours in, being organized, you kind of have to be the face of the business. Not only the face, you're basically the face, the neck, the arms, the legs, you know, the eyes, the ears, you're everything basically. You have to completely embody and immerse yourself into actually what you're doing. So the most rewarding thing after the hustle, in terms of actually all the blood, sweat and tears that I put into actually doing this, was when I done a little house party at the end of the year. Actually, am I allowed to say that? Yeah, it was well ventilated, everyone was 2 meters apart, some people stood across the road, you know, yeah, all of that. And most of the people that turned up actually wore the t-shirts and I was so grateful, and you know, it was such an empowering feeling to see that your vision had actually come to life. So if I'm going to give you guys a little bit of a conclusion of the numbers, I managed to turn over £1,200 in revenue. £700 was cost, that left me with £500 in terms of giving to the charity. Just to show you guys that I actually did donate the full 500 to the Age UK, here's the receipt of me actually donating it. Yeah, I'm Mr. Mutin. Don't forget the name. Now, if I give you guys a little bit of honesty, I'm going to tell you guys the 3 lessons that I actually learned during this campaign. Probably the first lesson that I did learn was that the product quality is 100% probably one of the biggest things that you need to really think about. Now, considering that I was making the t-shirts at home myself, I was ironing them on, I was printing them off from my own printer, cutting them out myself by hand, and you know, I was just happy at the fact that I've moved something from a computer onto a t-shirt and I was able to sell it online. Now, I was really proud of that fact, and I didn't really take into account the actual product life cycle of the actual thing that I'm selling. Now, after about 2 weeks, I started to get feedback from people saying that the t-shirts were kind of disintegrating in the wash. Not the t-shirts themselves, obviously the designs that I'd cut out and ironed on the t-shirts. Because I wasn't using a printer press, it wasn't ingraining into the clothes, so it was almost like putting a sticker on the clothes, and when they put them in the wash, they just kind of rubbed off, you know, like they started to get flaky. Now, what I should have done is actually been a bit more patient before I sold the product online. But, you know, it's all a learning experience, so that would be my first lesson I'd tell you guys. Test the product. Now, for the second lesson, I'm going to talk to you guys about actually creating efficient systems for actually getting something going. Now, initially, once I got one order in, I was kind of gassed and I was like, oh my god, I've got a t-shirt order, I'm going to have to do it right now, I'm going to send it over the next day. And what I realized is that I lost a lot of money in terms of actually traveling back and forth to the post office. So in terms of actually trying to keep your costs down, systems really do help. Now, going back and forth like a yo-yo probably wasn't the best idea, you know? Like, batching the process is probably one of the biggest pieces of advice I could give you, because it's more efficient in terms of time, it's more efficient in terms of actually getting your product out there, and you know, like in terms of actually keeping people happy, the more efficient that you are, then the more happy they are, because they're getting their product, they're getting their shit together. Now, for lesson 3, I feel like this will be a little bit more applicable to some people rather than others. I spent way too long in trying to diagnose who I wanted to be. Now, I didn't know whether I was a social enterprise, I didn't know if I was self-employed, I didn't know if I was a charity myself. I had to go on HMRC, I had to go on gov.co.uk, I had to go on Companies House. I was on every single platform. I did not have a Scooby about what was going on. So what I'd suggest is that you guys kind of look at the tax thresholds. So if you earn over 11,800 or maybe 10,800, I think you don't have to pay tax. And obviously where you give it to charity, I think you get tax exemptions for that as well. I was kind of acting in fear and I didn't really want somebody to come creep up on me later on down the line. I would suggest to you guys doing a little bit of due diligence, doing a little bit of research on how you want to evince yourself, and yeah, it does really help in the long run actually. Just to conclude, I hope you guys really enjoyed the lessons, and if you guys are looking to start up your own business, I do very much recommend it. It is actually something that is really rewarding, and you know, it is very difficult at first, as I've said before, but you know, after a certain while, it does kind of, things do kind of, you hit a flow and they do level out. And you know, you get people on board, you get people that want to work with you, and it is really fun to do. Like, that is probably the most important thing I would say. I had a lot of fun in doing this, I won't lie. If you guys really like this content, please don't forget to like and subscribe. Leave a comment in the description below and I'd really appreciate some of the feedback. Obviously, if you want to see some different content, just give me a shout and give me some ideas. My email, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, it's all here, so give me a shout.